Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Hello, Chemda. How are you?
Great. Of course I'm great. Everybody's great. We're all great.
I'm being April Fooled. I know it.
Oh, no. Oh, I keep forgetting. Thank you for the reminder. Actually, I do appreciate reminders. Fucking hate this day. I hate how funny people think they are. It's so nerve-wracking. My brother has made me cry more than once on this day, and he knows not to fuck with me anymore. Because here's the news, okay? I will believe you, okay?
Mhm.
I believe you when you talk to me. You are my friend. You are whatever. You're emailing me. You're writing me. I believe you. Fuck me for believing you. I'm a fool. Well, this is my day. It's like the opposite of my birthday, April Fool's Day.
I saw on HBO and in theaters now, for the ones that are open, is the new movie Godzilla versus Kong. King Kong against Godzilla.
Is that an April Fool?
I think everybody's April Foolsing me. On Rotten Tomatoes, this is 80% by critics, 95% by people. I can't think of a more boring movie. I guess I'm comparing it to Nomadland, and at least in this one, people get punched out, but it is just as boring, just as lame, and I'm curious if the world is fucking with me. Or people are just in a pandemic and they'll take any kind of entertainment. And they're like, I remember King Kong. And they're like, thumbs up, because this is so horrible and so bad. It's offending me.
Can I just quickly say, I know nothing about movies, nothing about actors, nothing about anything, but I'm not surprised by anything you just said. When you say those words, what is it? King Kong and the other one, that's an A+. Okay. That's an A+, or somehow, what's the word for racist for movies? You're movieist. You're just a dumb shit who doesn't understand classics. We just want to see these two monsters fight each other. Why can't you give us that? You're such a square douche. Then on the other side of it, not surprised that you saw it, knowing you don't like any of these characters or the original movies, I don't think.
I hate Titans fighting because
but you're going.
What's wrong with you? Because it's Godzilla and King Kong.
First of all, proved everybody right.
No. First of all, Henda gives so many assholes in real life 4th, 5th, 6th chances it breaks her heart. So how she doesn't? So I certainly don't do that. My hang up is just in a movie. Godzilla doesn't even know if I saw it. You know, Godzilla has nothing over me right now. It's not real.
Godzilla got your money.
Did it?
I don't know how things are getting paid for in the outside world anymore. Did you give beans now? What's happening outside?
I have HBO, so it's already on HBO, so I saw it. Anyway,
okay.
King Kong punches Godzilla. Godzilla falls down. Godzilla gets up, punches King Kong. King Kong falls down. I hate these big monsters. I don't like them very much.
Is it? I need to talk to our guest because my first question is, what a great life Keith has, that this is the highest of anger that he can get to. Like nothing. This is what's offensive to him in his magical world of rainbow life. I love it, and I'm so happy for you.
And by the way, if you saw this movie, tell me if I'm wrong. Ironically, because they were in the same show, Stranger Things, Millie Bobby Brown looks and talks just like Winona Ryder. Tell me if I'm right. Thank you. Huh?
No, that sounds like an interesting experiment. Now I do want to watch.
It is an experiment. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest. I don't think I'm just taking this seriously. But anyway, today's guest is a great comedian, host of the new podcast, Disordered, Hannah Boone.
Hello.
Hello. Now, what's more exciting to you, talking about King Kong and Godzilla, or when we talked about the death of Eddie Van Halen?
Oh, boy. That's tough. My heart really races at both. But I know I forgot it was April Fool's Day today, too. But I feel like it's not. I mean, it's got to be canceled this year, right? Isn't everyone just like, we've had enough? Like, we've been through a lot.
I do think it was canceled last year, and I was hoping that would start a new tradition. You know how, like, it's the first time you don't go back home for Thanksgiving or a major holiday in whatever world you're in, and you kind of break that tradition of going. And now, the next year, it's not for sure Chemda's coming to your house. Is Chemda coming? Boom, life changes.
Yes, exactly. And I feel that way with April Fools. Like, I haven't even seen anything on social media about it. I feel like people are like, there's stuff happening. Like, humanity's changed. Like, let's move on.
The podcast is great, by the way. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I was on it.
Woo!
What'd you talk about?
One of the earliest episodes.
What was your mental health fuck up, Kenda?
I'm an Alanonic.
She cares too much, right? Isn't that a kicker? Isn't that what a disease, right? You have bipolar, you have OCD. Kenda, she cares too much about people.
She's too kind.
Yeah.
That's like me saying your alcoholism is he likes to have too much fun. That's all it is. I mean,
that is kind of what it is.
Yeah, who doesn't like to have fun? And then I'm an Alanonic, so I'm like, who doesn't like being around people who like to have fun? So yes, we can completely translate it however we want. And of course, Keith has the most enjoyable translation. So enjoy that version of things.
Godzilla made me pick up again. Hannah, I follow her Twitter account, Instagram. You can do the same. Boone Comedy. I like reading these. For our first date, she writes, I invited someone to a stand-up show I'm performing on. And I don't think they understand that this is a warning. Did you do that? Do you still do that?
Yeah, isn't that disgusting? Well, it wasn't mine. It was I'm saying this publicly. It was her idea.
Nice.
And yes.
Nice.
And she was like, I've never been to a live comedy show. Like, I would love to come. And I was like, but I can't totally blame it on that. I was a little bit like, well, why don't you come see me perform? It was a little gross. But she came and it was really fun. I mean,
really? How?
I mean, that's tough. Well, I'll say this. I went second, so she saw me, and then I was like, I'm so sorry. I had to leave her for a little bit to talk to the owner of the venue. And
yeah, because you brought your date to work.
I know.
So
I know.
It's not that I had to leave her. It's you had to leave the job for a second to say hi to her.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I was like, I have to leave you for a second. She was like, it's fine. And then I
have to interrupt you again because I am reminded that comedians are like, this is the hardest job you can have. Oh, but I can bring a first date there. I could take a break to like grab a little smooch or whatever, but it's the hardest job ever. Okay, no, continue.
I don't think I've ever called it hard. I will say that. I think I have fully accepted that I chose play as work. Like fully.
I agree that I'm not quoting you directly.
Yeah. Yeah. But so I took her to my very easy job. It was on a rooftop. It was windy. It was cold. The mic was going out over and over again, and a train kept going by. So listen,
you think it takes the magic out?
When I said we're having fun, I take it with a grain of salt. It's like my standards for it are low.
And also, I've seen you on stage. First of all, you rock every fucking time. So I get why you would want to invite someone to see that because you're shining. But the information that you're giving out on the first date, basically without her asking, is your parents met at a psych ward, not as doctors or nurses, but as patients. Mm-hmm. You have herpes. Your weird dating life, your suicidal thoughts, your bipolar, these are all, we're talking over here going like, when do you tell someone that you've been divorced? Is it the first date or the third? Like, as if like, who gives a shit? What, I was once in love too much one time.
Yeah, I stuck to just the parents thing.
Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna pick one
because that's not your fault,
right?
Yeah,
that's them.
Okay.
And I'm a survivor, and it makes me look great. But she left the Hasidic community 10 years ago. So she's got a bunch of stuff too. So we got to kind of like vibe.
Oh my God. That. I love her.
She's amazing.
Is that attractive? Like it makes her a bad girl?
I don't know about a bad girl, but like a strong girl.
Okay.
Like a cool girl.
Almost like a woman.
Yeah, almost. She's almost like a grown woman to me.
Yeah. You both will get there. It's cool.
Have you been with women before?
Yeah, but I've never been like publicly out dating them. So that's like new for me.
What's the longest relationship you've had? And have men been longer?
Men have been longer, but I mean, men have been short too. Men are like a year. So it's not like I'm a long-term kind of person at this point. But it's mostly been me like kind of like having hookups with women like ongoing and then getting really scared and being like, no, I don't do this. And then like not doing it anymore.
That's so funny because even when you're bisexual, you can think that about like your same sex thing. But then when it's the opposite sex, you've had that thoughts. They just weren't as illuminating. Like, haven't you been with a man and going like, nah, I'm not. What am I doing? Why is I'm not really, am I into this? You know, like you sort of have the same thoughts. It's just one is on a queer spectrum because it's there for other people, and the other one is just a regular feeling that you have about relationships. But if you think about it, they're both the same thing. Like, am I interested in this? Am I attracted to this person? Like, what continues to make me attracted? They're all the same questions.
Oh yeah, I had a joke that was literally about how awful sex with men is for the most part because it's gross. And nobody like ever laughed at it. I was like, why is no one getting this? It's like, I'm straight, obviously, but men are yucky, right?
We all agree.
Yeah.
Has there been a second date with this woman?
No, I'm really actually kind of in the freak out place because we had a great date. It was really fun. And I said I would love to do this again. And she got really excited. And then like I got home and she sent me this sweet text about how she wanted to kiss me, but she was too nervous. And then I texted her last night and she still hasn't responded, but she's been watching my Instagram stories. So I'm in that like obsessive, like you're watching my stories, but you're not responding, but what does it mean? And so I'm there.
Doesn't that feel exciting? And also like you're just a piece of shit who's 12 years old again. It's like, how does it feel both good and bad at the same time? It's just like, or how did I get it so wrong? Or
I, for the most part, like really took some time off dating. Like I was off the apps. I just wanted to work on myself, believe it or not. Really weird. Strange
for like
stuff.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. How long?
Well, let's see. I guess Danny, that was different. But so like
Danny doesn't count.
Yeah. I was like, well, that was a blip. But no. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But since that, so it's like been a few months and I was just like, okay, like whatever, I'm not going to. And then I was like, well, now I feel like in a place where I could like date again and it'll be fine. And it's just the same. I'm still just like, she's watching my stories, but not texting me. Like, it's not better.
That's a tough one because you sound like an asshole, but like, it's a legit thing. I don't know how to explain that. Keith, does this,
it's strange. It's strange. It's like if you guys were doing dirty talk and all of a sudden you see she tweets out a joke or something, you know?
In the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've done that.
80% on King Kong. Give me a break. And then you start seeing those dots again. Anyway, I miss your fingers. What?
I didn't think of that, but
I have definitely multitasked and sexted before. I've been like eating and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Right.
I mean, I'm not really swinging from the chandelier, so who gives a shit? Delivery.
Yeah, whatever. You don't need my enthusiasm. It's texting.
But that's so funny. I could just picture like both people in a relationship just eating cereal, just going, I'm hard as fuck. Like,
right.
they think they're getting each other off, but they're both like, I guess this is what they need right now.
Yeah, it's like a favor.
The Instagram stories is tough because if you play one and you're not paying attention, you played 5,000 and people are getting the wrong idea. However, it's obvious she is on Instagram and did see your message, and it's already the afternoon the next day.
Yeah, man.
I hate her.
We hate it. She's so cool too, but whatever. We just gotta play it. And then I went on a horrible date I kind of wanted to tell you guys about.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was very exciting how bad it was.
I'm sorry that I got so excited for your bad date.
Oh, no, it's exciting. I was a little excited.
I perked up. I was like, yeah, Hannah, yeah.
So there was already red flags before the date.
Which is your favorite color flag.
Which is my favorite. I love to wave the red flags around. And I was like, okay, some of his texts were so bad that I put them on my Instagram story. I was like, this is incredible. But I realized on the date, he was just like one of my exes, which was kind of cool. Cause I was like, oh, wow. Like 2 years ago, I was very attracted to this. And now I've grown to a place where this actually really grosses me out. But he was talking about his ex.
We were having sex.
Yeah. Right. I was so not attracted to him, but he was talking about his ex like the whole time. Like, she left and she's such a bitch and I'm pissed off because she left right after I took her on this great date and I was like, ew.
Ew.
Ew. Ew. And
What
then
did they expect? Like, they're not thinking, right? Because they don't expect you to be on their side for that. Like, there's a way you can get them on your side about an ex. Like, there's nothing cute about the way this guy is saying it.
well,
I think
yeah.
Well, you were on the. What do you think? Yeah.
Well, I think he wanted me to sit there and be like, poor baby, like do the emotional labor of being like, oh wow, that's so hard. That's like, wow, yeah, you're a really good guy for taking her out like that, and I can't believe she just left you.
Yeah, and also, so now he's gotten you talking, and you're slowly saying to yourself, I won't be that to you. So now you're like, he's getting you ready. Like, what is that called when you're fucked up to children and you're
Grooming.
prepping them? Yeah. So he's grooming for, you're going to be a good girl, right? Like, you're not going to break up with me after I pay for this lunch. You're going to give me a second chance. Like, you're going to be the better, hotter, cooler girl. And you're like, yeah, I'm cool. What?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the whole time though, he just reminded me of my ex, and I kept in my head being like, good for this girl for leaving. Like, oh my God. And then at one point, I literally just said to him, I was like, oh, I had this job when I was in my early 20s, and he cut me off. Beautiful. And he was like,
I've had a job before. Okay, yeah. I get it.
He was like, anyway, I'll take this one. Like, but he cut me off and he was like, was it at Hooters? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, I'm going to imagine it was at Hooters. And I was like, oh,
nice.
Oh my God.
Anyway, like, he kept talking to me like, oh, and he did this thing. What do you
I'm
guys
sorry,
think?
that's the extent of his imagination. I'm going to imagine it was Hooters.
He said, no, now go get me a beer.
Well, he was sober, so he's perfect, right?
Okay.
But he brought his dog with him, and there's a thing that I've noticed with every guy who acts like they're completely obsessed with dogs has ended up being a bad guy in my life, in my experience. Everyone is like, no, I just love animals so much. I'm like, this is a cover. Like, you're covering. So he like brought his dog and he was like, this is my dog. I'm a single he called himself a single dad, like trying to get me to be like, oh.
Oh my God, this guy is everything in a movie that's douchey.
Yes.
Holy shit, this is what we were sold for a very long time, because when someone else looks at this and it's other guys who go like, this is what you're falling for. And I'm like, this is one of the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good date to most women. Thankfully not you. You know, I don't think me, like I'm hoping we've distanced ourselves from that, but this is one of the good guys. And by the way, if you're listening to this going, not me, we've had one of those guys. Cause when Hannah said the guy that loved his dog so much, but he's really just a piece of shit. Yeah. He was a guest on this show. He's kind of handsome. And then, and he works out and whatever. And his dogs are everything. You all fell for it. I saw the forums response. I saw you all fell for it. All of you. Don't even start.
It's such a thing. It's such a cover. I love animals. And it's like, you like hit somebody, don't you?
Do you know why? It's because they can speak to animals and not like, he didn't let you talk. He didn't let you have a response. That's what his fucking dog does.
Right.
Oh my God. Did you just come in the house? You're the greatest. Did I just get food from you? He took his fucking girlfriend out on a date and can't believe she left him. That's because when he feeds the dog stays.
Yeah.
These bitches acting like bitches. What the fuck? Like, this confusion by this fucking moron. Give me his number.
Yeah.
I'm going to call him. Tell him what's for.
My dog never said to me, you're now rough. In my 20s, I had a job. Yeah, I know you did. You had to. We all did.
Right. Are you feeding me again? Thank you, you bitch.
Oh, man. It was, yeah.
How do you end it? Do you guys end it in a kiss because you don't know what to do?
Oh, I'll tell you what happened.
I fucked him behind a dumpster. I didn't know what to do.
Sorry, excuse me, in a dumpster, never behind.
I don't want anybody to see us.
Let's not be gross. No, I told him he could not come in. I was like, no.
So he walked you home or something?
He drove me home. And then immediately went in for a kiss, hand up my shirt, same time.
Wow.
Oh, I said you got to wait for a boob moment. We discussed this before on the show.
You have to. And you have to slowly kind of seek out, like, slowly creep your hand up, kind of see green light, yellow light, red light.
But also not aim for the boob. It's not a boob moment. There's a hip there. There's a shoulder there.
There's a back.
There's a neck.
Mm-hmm.
Did we not watch Friends? A 1, a 1-2, a 1-2-5, a 1-2-5-7. That's a reference that a lot of people will get. Don't you worry about it, kids.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
I'm here with you. It's Monica.
Okay.
I know.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, no, he just immediately, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta go. I was like, thanks so much. And then said bye to his dog, and then was like,
And you said bye to his dog like, hey, bitch to bitch, I think you should leave.
oh my God, I feel like it's so weird how I felt bad for the dog and have to remember that he treats his dog a lot better than he treats women. And so I was like, okay, but I have to stop. But I was like, I can't believe this dog has to go home with this guy. Like,
Oh, he's perfect to that dog. Perfect. That's a perfect relationship to him.
Oh, and then I told him I wasn't interested the next day, and he argued with me.
To explain why you were wrong?
Well, first he was like, why aren't you interested? And I just said, I think you're still like hung up on your ex. And he was like, well, I thought you weren't necessarily looking for a relationship. Like you were just wanting to go out on dates and have fun maybe. And I just didn't respond.
Can't we just have fun and I'd be hung up on my ex?
Yeah, it's like, can't I just grab your tits?
I said you have nice tits, right? I didn't forget to say that, did I? That's like not bringing flowers.
Oh my God.
Hannah wrote about the stimulus check. Me, angry and kind of gross. Me with $1,400, angry and kind of gross, eating at Chipotle.
You know, level up. Level up.
Getting the extra guac.
Right.
Oh, you bet.
She wrote, I hate my body every day, but is it enough?
No, it's not enough.
I agree. Is it me, Hannah, or is every mare fucked up? You ever notice that? That's just my way of thinking. I hate taking pictures. So, like for you to have, I don't know if it's body dysmorphia or just a regular thing that people have, but you do, and they're very funny. You do a lot of Instagram videos, just you walking into an ex, and it's just like she's not in bikinis or anything. But I hate taking pictures so much. I'm almost ready to cry. I
will attest to that. May I, real quick?
Sure.
Because with what we're doing, we need like updated photos. We need a new photo. We're putting out like this promo or a show is coming, whatever. And we're like, Keith, we need a picture from you. He's like, okay. He moved faster on Keith. You need to finish your book. Okay.
Right.
Then this picture. Now a new book. I'm like, you know what, Keith? I think it's time to write a new book. He's like, okay, on it. And the homework gets done. But Keith, we need a picture next week. Keith, we need a picture. He's like, yeah. I'm just waiting for Kyle to come over. I'm like, Kyle has come over 3 times. Oh, yeah. I just had to just take a fucking picture.
But it would. Well, Kyle will come over and I'll go, hey, we're having, for example, the last picture I'm thinking of, Hemda wanted, it was for our 16-year podcasting anniversary. And we'll be dressed up, act like we're sitting at a table. But instead of having our anniversary dinner, we're at home. So we're just in our houses separately, waiting for this food to come. I started putting on, a suit jacket or a nice shirt. And Kyle would be like, oh, you're going to wear that? And I go, nope, I'm not. And done. This day is done. And yes, Hemda, Kyle was over. And now it's done. So maybe she'll be over again. And we'll talk about it another day. She's like, no, I didn't mean that. I was just asking. Well, what am I doing? Of course I'm going to wear it. I took it out of the closet. You're going to wear that? No, I'm going to throw that one. Then I'm going to wear that. I'm like, then fucking forget it. Or I'm sitting down, but I don't have like a regular dining room table, so I have like a couch and New York eating, and she's taking pictures. She's like, and I could tell the means the way I'm sitting is not attractive because I'm kind of leaning over and not in a proper chair. And then she goes, and I go, forget it. Well, I've been taking pictures by professional photographers. They never go, They just take shit. And eventually they show me something, which I never put together, by the way. The 1,000th time they go, oh, here's one you can look at. You notice that? Yeah. What about the other 1,000? Don't worry about that. The lighting was great on this one.
That's
I
such
hate it.
that's such a mean mom comment. I hate so you're gonna wear that? I hate that. I have a friend who does that, and she doesn't even mean to. She's just really into fashion, and she'll just be like, "Oh, are we?" It's like it feels like they're just like, did we decide to be ugly today?" And you're like, yes, I did, and I'm sorry.
I put on a vest. I button like one button. She's like, I'm not sure about that. I'm like, done. And I take it off. I'm like, you couldn't even wait 3 more buttons? Then it's over. It's done. So I hate the pictures. I hate what people are going to think about the pictures. But more so, honestly, I hate what she's thinking I look like at the time. So with a video or with this right now or being in front of people, I move so that my million pictures confuse you. But if my girlfriend really sees a picture of me, she's going to know what she's really stuck with. So let's just forget the whole fucking thing. If you see this picture of our 16th anniversary, it is the dumbest fucking thing. It's random pictures put together. I think I'm looking at I hated it, Henda, by the way. Hated it.
I know. You're going to hate all of it. And here's the problem. By the time we get the picture from you, we just have to be okay with it. And by the time we got the picture from Keith, it's him holding a fork and knife. He looks like he's trying to murder me because he's trying to work within the parameters that we talked about. It's just...
And you just have to take it.
What are we going to do? It's like, okay, maybe we cut that hand out. But like, he's going to notice that his whole idea was moved out of the picture.
You know what turns me off about hot thirst traps? They're fucking weird confidence. What the fuck is your problem?
I also good acting, man.
Yeah, I jack off to it, but then I'm like, you're disgusting. What the fuck is your damage?
It is so hard. That's why it's good. Like in the before times, we would just on stage, and like Keith said, the million pictures of us moving around, you got to catch one if you're a photographer. Yes. And then we end up using that. And, shout out to all the photographers that had to deal with us once where they're like, oh, get together and smile. And you just see me and Keith going like, are we doing it? Are we smiling? Are we?
Yeah. Yep.
Is this? Yep. And then that's what you catch.
Yeah, we just did a shoot for Disordered, and it was really, really fun. But it was like, first of all, my co-host is half my size. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, this is going to suck because we have to be next to each other. And then there was one where it was like, we used sprinkles as pills from a pill bottle. And my co-host like poured them into my mouth. And it was like really fun. But I was like, I can't even try to look good for that. Like I have to be so focused on sprinkles being poured into my mouth that I can't pose. Like, well, I don't know.
I'll tell you this. This is going to be controversial. We were on the cover of the Village Voice. I hate that picture. I fucking hate that picture because here's what was happening. We got a photographer from the Village Voice to come over. Mm-hmm. We didn't know. And we're just, she's like, oh, this is the cover. So Keith and I are just standing normal. But of course, that's not giving her anything. And she's like, can you guys get animated? We don't get animated. We get stupid. Now we're doing fucking clown shit that we wouldn't approve of. But we don't know what do I put my hand up now? Like I'm standing. So now we have I'm just leaning into Keith for some reason. He's got his hand towards, we'll put it up in the picture section if you have our app and our website. Every time I've said that to anybody, and I'm not trying to, it's weird to put that down. It's on the cover of The Voice, which I grew up with and like all that shit. But no, I wish I had a say. I wish I would. It also makes me think, did we have a say in who would be the photographer? Because I would have picked someone else, Well,
when photographers say to be animated, I freeze every time. I don't know what it means.
Terrible.
It makes me freak out. Yeah.
What does that mean? Be animated? Smize? What is that? I thought people get paid $10,000 to learn how to smile. Smize. Now I got to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
I don't mind me on that cover, but I do my trick where you just make a big open smile.
That's stupid.
It's stupid, but it's a trick. It hides the majority of my face.
No,
I do that too.
Xerxes did that too. I was like, this cannot be every picture. It has to be.
It has to be.
I like open smile or incredibly serious. I do one or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm just like, a lot of the pictures that people take of me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get the excitement up, but I feel very nervous.
Yeah. And then people try to like, I had somebody tell me, well, that's your ego, Keith. It's not a big deal. I'm like, don't turn this around like I'm some thirst trapper out there. Is the same? You're using the same word for them that you are for me. I just don't want you to take a picture.
It is, when it comes down to it, it is an ego, but it's also like you're trying to put my ego into one shot. So like Keith said, if I could move around and you just get what I really am, now I'm trying to pose for what I really am, and I can't do that. There's a reason why people get paid to have their pictures being taken of.
And what I don't like is people act like they don't have this disorder where they don't check your phone and delete that. No, delete that. No, right. This wrinkle makes me look fat. And I'm like, really, Kyle, something made you look fat. What the fuck? So don't act like I'm the weirdo being like, no, I don't like these 7 chins in this picture.
No, I get it.
Do you hate thirst traps?
I like, they're funny to me, but they're funny to me, but I am, laughing at them. Sure.
He has a love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah.
Because they shock him in his feed because he's 47. How old are you? And I get it because it's like, you on stage, killing it at a local club, you posing with your new book and you're very proud of yourself. And then all of a sudden you on a beach, but only your ass in a bikini.
Totally.
And I think part of it, and this is when Keith gets annoyed because now I'm intellectualizing the ass photo, is normalizing that if we're going to post about life, this is my work, this is my play, it's okay somehow, but it's still, like Keith says, you got to know there's a bunch of me out there just jerking to it.
It's just funny. Yeah. I work with you and it's Tuesday and I just saw your ass pipe. That's funny to me, but let's not acknowledge it because then I'm a fucking weirdo. Hi, nice to see you. I saw it because it was the next story that went automatically. Now you have to wonder if I'm a fucking creep or not, but you did it, but blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Keith's relationship to thirst traps is the funniest thing.
Right. Yes.
That's hilarious.
I think that'll be the poll though, right? Do you have an aversion to taking pictures? I don't know. See, I don't know if I have an aversion, but yeah, I guess I do. I hate it.
Yeah,
Keith,
that's an aversion.
That's an aversion.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I want it dead. Is that aversion?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm with you. I like videos of myself and I don't like pictures.
I don't like any of it, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
No, thanks. All right.
But I'll build a career off it.
Right.
We talked it through. No more pictures. Okay, very good. The other day we were talking about the weed being legal in New York. And finally, New Yorkers, we can smoke weed.
It's allowed.
Finally. I wonder if people get turned off. They're like, oh, there's no danger?
Yeah,
I think that's part of it with the next generation, right? If your parents are smoking weed, it becomes the uncool thing to do.
Greg Kelly.
But that's not going to happen because weed is so fucking great. Right. So good luck with that theory.
Greg Kelly is on something called Newsmax now. It's a conservative talk show. He used to be on Good Day New York, if you're from New York, with Rosanna Scotto, I believe is her name. And he always seemed just dorky. I didn't know he was so right wing. Anyway, he tweeted out, and he's not trying to be funny. Smoking weed, AKA grass, is not a good idea. I've tried it back in the day, and it was worse than anything that happened to Hunter Biden. I toked up, in quotes, with some buddies in Kentucky and woke up 4 days later in Nairobi, Kenya, with no idea what happened. Don't do drugs.
Well, that wasn't weed.
Was not
right
weed.
Now.
Oh, your friends don't like you and something bad happened.
Oh, something real dark.
Oh, that's 4 days later you woke up, huh? And I bet you and your friends didn't talk about it, did you? Because then you would know if they told you the truth. They fucking drugged you.
It's like the goal of a political commentator, just be the biggest dork. Who is that guy that was complaining about wet ass pussy? He really looks like a robot. He was complaining. It's like, you're just saying that you never get your wife wet. He said being wet means you have a disease in your vagina.
Oh.
Like, what? I think the goal is just to be the biggest dork. I woke up 4 days later in Nairobi and I'm in a tub with my lung missing. What the fuck is wrong with you? And why would you send that? And by the way, Greg Kelly, if I may say, I look at your bio and it says USMC veteran. No, it's USMCR veteran. You were in the reserve. I'm not saying it's nothing, but
Shots
don't you
fired.
try to trick me. Even your bio's a liar. I don't like it. You woke up in Nairobi. Your kids don't go, oh, fuck that. I can't go to school today now.
Yeah, that's so embarrassing. That reminds me of like when I was older, but like not old enough to know that my childhood was weird yet. And I'd be like at a party and I'd be like, you know, when your dad like gets arrested again or whatever, and people would be like, what? Like this feels like that. Where it's like, you know, when you smoke weed and like you and your friends like hurt you and everyone's like, what?
Right.
Nairobi?
What?
What charges did you wake up on your credit card after 4 days? Like, what phone calls did you make?
What airline was like, come on the plane?
What institution did you have to go to after to unpack this? This is what you think weed is? Oh, and by the way, side note, so New York is legal, but every county is allowed to decide if they are going to open dispensaries or are going to allow dispensaries. And Long Island, a bunch of their fucking leaders got together and said, not here. You morons again in Long Island. Michael, you moved there. I swear to God.
I don't want to have marijuana.
Yeah, Long Island's not like the crowning achievement of New York.
No, not here. Why? Did you let your meanwhile, when you get off the Long Island Railroad, which is the only way to get to you guys, because you're pains in the ass, when you get off the Long Island Railroad, there's a fucking liquor store right there. And if there's not, there's a Dunkin' Donuts that has a liquor tasting coffee just so you can have that feel until you can have the real thing. The fuck kind of culture are you? Get your shit together.
My stepmom is very like that, like she's right wing and blah, blah, blah. And she like has a Percocet prescription she's had for years and drinks every day. And she's like, weed is bad. And I'm like, girl, no. Right. You're falling apart.
Yeah, there's a loose theory that I'm coming up with that is completely false and has not been experimented on or thought about. But I think those leaders who are like, no marijuana dispensaries here, you're an alcoholic because you probably like signed something while you were drinking, you celebrate with drinking, you pretend like that's not a big deal. And then also the ones that are like, what about our children? I'm like, you guys are allowed to have vodka open in your cupboard, leaving the kids. If I have a thing of marijuana and a kid comes around, I could be completely fucked for it. Meanwhile, if you're 7, you don't know how to smoke weed. You see buds, what are you going to light it on fire? If you're 7, you could take my glass and there's vodka in it and just drink it like it's juice. Get the fuck out of here, Long Island.
Mm-hmm. I know Long Island's like, we're going to keep our drunken bar fights. Thank you very much. No one's staying home and just eating snacks here.
They have their own drunk iced tea.
Oh, yeah, the pour everything mommy has in her cabinet drink.
Right.
What's in iced tea? What you got?
NyQuil?
Yeah. Why not? Then, by the way, Long Island, that's the problems you guys have. NyQuil, okay? And you get to say you're New Yorkers. Get out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the podcast Disordered, you talk about borderline personality disorder, OCD. And I know we've talked with you about the borderline personality disorder. I don't remember if we talked about the OCD. Do you still count tiles on the ceiling, this kind of thing for now? You have to count tiles on the ceiling. I know some people, they have to spin around in the shower 3 times or bad things happen. But are you ever able to do it so that bad things happen to people? Couldn't you think, oh, my ex was a real shithead. Let's count the tiles. 1, 2, 4. I'm done.
I should think of it that way. I have actually, when I'm angry, been like, I have to like count to a certain number so that someone I'm mad at doesn't get a good thing.
Okay. See how Keith's life is good? Because he goes, hey, can you use this for your advantage and for evil? Because here's how you could think about it. You're in control.
Right. But no, you still got to go through the rituals for bad things to happen, for anything to happen that you're
just
wishing.
like don't count. Like I like to count to 10, so like just count to 5 instead,
Right.
and like let the bad times roll.
But what's funny is that you could kind of cheat the system. You can go, well, I can't count. It's a hospital. I can't count tiles all day. All right, 10 on the side, 20 on top. Okay, 200 tiles done. Like you can cheat it.
Oh, I do that. I use multiplication.
She didn't learn math for no reason, Keith. She's efficient.
If you said if you got a scratch, for example, on one arm, let's say, you would have to scratch your other arm. Is that correct?
Yeah. To be clear, like itching, scratching, not like cutting or whatever. But like yes. If I had like, or like the backpack I have to wear on 2 shoulders, I never could do the cool like one shouldered backpack thing.
So I had a massage once and they did like the one arm and half did the other arm. Would that drive you nuts?
That would drive me nuts.
Ooh, yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. When teachers used to erase the board and there would be like a little, like they'd leave some chalk that they didn't get. Didn't that ever like just kill anybody? That killed me.
I'm not going to say killed, but it was of note.
It didn't make sense, right? It's like, you're there anyway. How do you just move on?
Oh, I used to raise my hand. I was such a little weirdo. I would raise my hand and be like, can you please, I will erase that. Everyone hated me, teachers, students, everybody. And like, I get it. But I was just like, excuse me, I didn't finish.
Do you still have to walk on cracks so that good things happen?
Oh, if I'm really stressed. If I'm not stressed, no.
And that calms you down. That makes you less stressed to know that you have to put the arch on your foot on a crack.
Don't let his tone get to you. If that's what makes you feel good. And that's Keith's interview. He goes, and that's what makes you feel good? That. So you feel good after that. Is that what it does?
That sounds stressful. You're like,
no,
fuck,
it makes it worse.
This whole place is paved. Fuck.
It makes it worse. It's like if you feel upset, so you drink to feel better. It's like it makes it worse, but you think that like this is gonna help. Like it's that same thing. I
see. And what do therapists say? How to get over it, or you never will?
They just try to medicate me, and I'm like, I'm already medicated. I don't need medication for OCD. It's like not that big a deal for me. Some people do, but yeah, there's like DBT stuff. But that DBT stuff triggers it because DBT stuff is
what's DBT?
Like, dialectical behavioral therapy. So it's like tools you can use instead of doing an impulsive thing or instead of doing a destructive thing. You use these tools, but a lot of them involve counting. It's a lot of counting backwards. It's a lot of counting your breaths. It's a lot of, and I'm like, this is okay, it's bread and butter, I guess.
Right. If you're on a date and the guy notices you're deliberately stepping on cracks and he says something, do you want to kill yourself or does he finally see you?
No, then I can like explain it. That I'm like, well, I'm pretty nervous that you're gonna die if I don't.
I'm keeping you alive.
I'm really helping. I don't know if you get it.
And then he starts grabbing your tit, and you're stepping on no cracks.
and the dog is like barking, and I'm like, I'm setting it free.
Is there a lot of gaslighting when it comes to people with mental problems? Like, is it easy to go, no, come on, you know yourself.
It helps when you call them. It helps when you call them mental problems.
I mean,
mental excitements. When you have a mental excitement, do guys try to take advantage and blame everything on you when they're the pieces of shits?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've been gaslit and pieces of shit have tried to blame it on me before, but it's confusing because I'm like, well, maybe. Yeah, I guess that's gaslighting. Yeah, I guess so.
Or is the question, do guys always end up gaslighting? Or people in partnerships always end up gaslighting each other because they just want this one thing to go away. And it's the professional gaslighters are like, this will never go away, just need to cover it up. But like, there's that sometimes thing where it's like, well, I just don't want to disappoint this person. Then you start gaslighting. I'm not condoning this. Not cool. You're making someone crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Are we allowed to say crazy? Hannah Boone, are we allowed to say crazy?
I say it all the time.
Okay. Well,
so I guess I'm the authority. Maybe if I don't, I feel like if I choose to say crazy all the time, that might mean you actually probably shouldn't. I'm not sure.
Is it offensive to say, yeah, but you're allowed to?
I appreciate it. It's become my brand. Really an accident. Didn't look for it to.
On the podcast where you were talking about OCD, you were talking about you and your co-host were talking about, it seems there's a thing with guys where they like to piss in bottles and save it. And then you happen to walk into the room of one of these guys' piss bottles and not thinking you were drinking at the time. It was just leftover beer.
No.
You took a swig.
No.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I drank this dude's piss.
Oh, it wasn't new, was it?
No, it was not warm. But that kind of makes it worse.
It does make it worse.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Because if it had been warm, I would have noticed and been like, well, actually, I probably wouldn't have given a shit. I probably was such an alcoholic. I'd be like, warm beer, whatever, you know? But yeah, I drank it and he was like, oh, that was my pee. And I was like, wow, what's done is done. I didn't drink more.
When he says that was the pee, are you like, I figured it out?
No, I probably wouldn't have put two and two together until he told, because it tastes like water.
Well, A, good for him. That's good.
Right.
B, then maybe he should not tell you and decide to throw out those bottles. Why save them?
Or pee in the toilet. Like, it was in his apartment. It wasn't like far. It wasn't on a train. It was like.
Were you dating him or is he a roommate?
I was dating him.
Do you keep it going after that? Like, oh, you do that.
I think we lasted like another month. I mean, it lasted until I got sober. It lasted until I was like, this is fucked up. And then he was like, well, you're no fun. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm no fun.
The ultimate gaslighting, right? You drank their piss.
And I'm no fun.
And
I'm not fun.
Right. Shit in my mouth.
Oh, okay. But I'm not fun.
Do people, I know somebody that just came out and they said, hey, I'm bipolar. And I know this guy. And it's like, you haven't been seeing a therapist. You just said it all of a sudden. And I'm like, isn't there a process to that? Is there a thing where mental health, and especially talking, which you should, of course, talking openly about your mental health problems is the cool thing now. Are people faking that they have mental health problems when they're not? Is anything like that going on? Have you
like
noticed?
an overdiagnosis? Or a self-diagnosis?
A self-diagnosis, and you kind of just looking for the attention. You don't know.
Well, here's the twist, is like, if you're doing that in and of itself is sort of a mental issue. So you kind of...
So I don't know what this person has, but something's up.
Something's up. Even if it's just like an emotional thing where you need attention, like something's going on. So you win, I guess.
Well, I talked to my therapist about like, how do you even know if you're bipolar? I've had high highs, low lows, and I don't, I know everyone, it feels like they want to be diagnosed with that already, but I'm just like, I just want to make sure that I say that to you. And he goes, I am not going to be the one to diagnose you because that's too quick most of the time, because maybe you should be depressed when you're depressed, and maybe you should be excited when you're excited. And I'd rather not call you something. I'd rather see if there's a reason why you feel these more heightened emotions or more low, whatever. So I like that. And I also think like, yes, eventually you have to diagnose. And he says you have to diagnose eventually for pill purposes, so that like, if you need that, then you need to be diagnosed. But before that, let's check it out.
Right.
Yeah, that was my argument to not take medication for a long time. But then I had like a real manic episode, and I was like, But yeah, no, I agree. I agree with your psychiatrist or therapist.
You know what? He's a doctor. I don't know.
Ask him.
Man. You're a big doctor, man.
I think you should know.
I forget. He's got like a whole bunch of degrees, but I don't know.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Hey, let me mention the Stereo app. How fun was that game show we did the other day, Henda?
Oh my God. I was high. That was my high of the day. And I was just so excited. I don't know if you saw me on chat afterwards. I would turn to Xerxes every here and again and go, oh my God, that was crazy fun, right? That was fun. That was amazing. It was so great.
So we told you about the Stereo app. You want to go to stereo, stereo.com/Keith Malley or /Henda. And it's free. It's free to download. It's free to interact with us. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we do a show, and we started doing a game show. And it was a lot of fun. We're excited to offer our listeners a new way to interact with us. Download the free stereo app /Keith Malley or /Chemda. Connect with us whenever we're live. You'll see our show right there. The winner, Abby, wrote in and said, "What? That was legit the most fun I've had in a long time. I was jumping up trying to answer faster, and my boyfriend was in the room cheering me on. So much fun. What an awesome idea for a stereo show. Thanks." It was a lot of fun, and we'll do it again for sure.
Yeah, we're doing it again. So here's the thing. It is, like Keith said, free to download, free to interact. So the way you support the show is by getting it through our link, stereo.com/Chemda, stereo.com/Keith Malley. Both of those links mean that you get to watch the show on Wednesday coming up and compete if you'd like, or just listen. And you're supporting the show for a free download of the app by using that link, stereo.com/Keith Malley or stereo.com/Chemda, whichever one you know how to spell.
By the way, did you see the great Chester M. Hanks? You might know him as Chet Haze. Is making news. He's a Tom Hanks's kid. He's the rapper. He's the kid that the family doesn't acknowledge. And
they really don't, or we just don't understand how this person can go so rogue.
Right. No, they really don't. They really don't. Here's a little Chet Haze.
Got my bitch, she fuck with bitches too. Showed her how we living, now she not fucking with you. Hey, young niggas, bitch, we got the juice.
He'll say the word, he don't care.
I'm posted smoking, go relax and let these bitches choose.
Kick it.
Swagger off the road, smoking in the cold. I hit him with the joke, like Kobe when I shoot. Swoosh. Like Reggie when I run. My niggas shoot for fun.
I didn't say it.
I need an extra long.
That's true.
I fuck her now she sprung. She say she wants some D, so I'ma slang it proper. Bitches got no sense, but all about a dollar.
Okay, so now you know Chet Haze.
What dialect is that? Like, I know that, I grew up in Queens and sometimes that comes out, but what's coming out? Did he go to a different boarding school than the other one?
You know what? I don't even remember what this is. I know we played it before. I'm just curious. This is Chet Haze on Science.
What's up, everybody? I just wanted to take a second today to remind you, if you haven't thought about it, that we're all just walking around a giant sphere that's floating in nothingness, and it's heated up by an even bigger sphere of fire that's like keeping us warm and like shedding light onto the world so we can see from out of the darkness.
All right, see, Greg Kelly, that's
we're
good
all just here experiencing ourselves, experiencing each other.
Yes, experience.
As a whole, as a human race.
We are one.
Just experiencing it. And it's all for a reason. Science lovers will tell you that science created all this, but science can only explain life. It can't create life. That's God.
What?
Okay, so there you go. So it's just a little thought on science. So now you know about him musically and intellectually. It's funny he brings up one race because he's in the news now for putting out a video saying it's going to be a white boy summer. And he says, I don't mean like Trump. I mean me and my friends who happen to be white, Bobby, Steve, Trigger. And we're going to go out and really kill it this summer. So it's a white boy summer. And now he has merchandise.
No.
That says... Why he has a sweatshirt hair. Look at this, white boy summer, and then he takes it off, and there's a T-shirt with white boy summer. Did you just say, Hannah? Look at the font.
Look at the font.
You're so dead. I didn't know if I was making this up. It's what's understood as the white supremacy font. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it is. No, that's like Harley Davidson, like Nazi font.
That's KKK font, and I'm not exaggerating.
No, it really is.
How? Where is he? What happened? Did he get his inheritance too early? Tom Hanks wants to die of COVID today. What is happening?
I know. I keep thinking about Tom Hanks. Like, I want Tom Hanks to comment. I want him to just let us know where he's at.
They're in his house, and he's like, okay, well, sounds like you're happy.
Yeah, Tom Hanks was in a movie called The Burbs. Like, this is crazy.
Well, look, that's great. Rita Wilson. Okay, sounds good. White boy summer.
Is it like, you could be from a conservative family and you're the black sheep by like being a comic and, being an atheist when you come from a really Christian household and things like that. This is the reverse of that.
Right.
Like, we don't know that happens because we came from the other side of that, but there is that. You're rebelling against your parents. I guess find something to rebel against your parents. God, tell us what's happening in that house, please. What is going on?
The George Floyd trial is happening right now. The Asian attacks are never ending right now. I just got to be honest. Me and my boys, we happen to be white. It's got to be a white boy summer. What's the problem? Well, there's a little problem with that. Too late. I already ordered 1,000 t-shirts. So.
Okay.
Man,
all right.
Oh, man.
I mean, you end up, he's going to get his because all racists do. Sharon Osbourne kicked off the talk, only gets $10 million severance for all her racist shit coming to light.
Jesus.
So you're not going to make it in this world, Chet, with that attitude.
Wow.
$10 million.
Wow.
And I don't go to work. All right,
Wow.
you fucking carpet munchers. See ya.
Oh, Hollywood Punish is good. They're like a weird S&M or something. Wow.
Right. All right. So one more time, reminding you, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be doing a stereo show. So make sure you download it now so you're ready. Stereo.com/Keith Malley or stereo.com/Kemda. And it'll be a lot of fun. You'll be interacting, of course. It's a game show, for God's sakes. And it's a real good time. All right. Hannah Boone, you want to follow online? Instagram and Twitter is Boone Comedy, Boone. And the podcast is Disordered, and you will feel better about yourself. It's my feel-good show. Like, oh, look at that. I can walk normal, So that makes me happy.
Oh, God, Keith, we were almost out. That was good.
Hannah,
Make sure you
so
listen
much.
to my episode of
Listen to
Disordered.
Femda's episode. It's great. It's one of the earlier episodes. Go back, enjoy yourself. It's very good.
KeithAndTheGirl.com